Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. On the Santa Cruz Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight, and I'm great to have Itibari Zulu from Transamerica Financial Advisors. Did I get that right, pronunciation right?
Yes, you did.
What a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in the show. Tell us about some of the services you provide at Transamerica Financial Services when you serve your clients.
Well, our main goal with our clients is just to provide a better financial foundation for them. We find a lot of people right now, they're just not educated when it comes to the basic principles of financial knowledge. And that's probably one of the biggest things that our country is suffering with right now. So.
Yeah, there's no doubt, especially with the most recent financial crisis we've had over the last 4 years now, is people don't know the basics.
Yeah. So you have a lot of people running around with like a chicken with their head cut off, and what we do is just give them direction. Put together a game plan. 9 out of 10 people never hit their goals because they never had a game plan to get there.
Yeah, game plans are critical, and I like the way you say that almost in athletic. When we were younger and we would play a sport, you always had a plan. Yeah, you always had a plan. Let's talk about some of the basics. You sit down with somebody, and really you're evaluating from A to Z. Tell us a little bit some of those things you evaluate.
Well, we take a 3-step process, okay? We never do business on a first visit. You know, we like to make sure that we get to know that family, find out exactly what their goals are, their dreams, and then we gather a little bit of information, take that back, do some research, and then we'll come back with recommendations and find out whatever's suitable for that person. We don't charge for a service. It's all complimentary. The only thing I do expect, if what I'm doing for them is 10 times better than what they got going on, and they're the judge of that, I expect them to send me to 10 to 1,500 other people I can help out
I like
in similar ways.
I like that. So let's talk about some of the specific services. I know you don't do lending, but you do insurance services. Tell us some of the basic gaps you see often in people's financial planning. What are some of the gaps you see?
Well, I find out that a lot of times people are paying way too much in taxes, right? There's a few different categories that your money can fall into. You got the taxable, the tax deferred, and tax advantage. And a lot of times I see that people are heavy on the first two and not on the back end. So a lot of times diversifying and just exposing other options for people is a big thing. Not one client's the same, so different people for, different products for different people. So there's not one particular product that I focus on. It's just whatever helps that particular family.
How often do you need to reevaluate your plan? When you reevaluate it, how often do you recommend
Some people
a family
on a daily basis. No, but I try to sit down with the clients at least, definitely annually. Some people need more maintenance than others. I have some clients that call me on a weekly basis. But I try to sit down with them at least twice a year, if not once, definitely at least once a year. But it depends on the person. I have a open line, so some people like to call me every other day, then I'm totally fine with that.
Absolutely. Now, I want to talk about, throw a little bit of curveball at you. What are the 1 or 2 or 3 recommendations you have just initially? If someone's just struggling, they haven't spoken with somebody, I guess the first thing would be call somebody. But what are some of the 1, 2, 3 basics that you tell people you really need to focus in on or get advice on?
Well, I would tell people to focus on the principles of saving. It's more important to save money than it is to spend money. And, we have the pressures of the economy everybody wants to keep up with the Joneses, but a lot of times they don't realize the Joneses are broker than they are, right?
No doubt.
So just saving, at least if it's 10%, a minimum principle of that. And it's a very old principle, but it still works. So if someone has $1, save 10 cents. Put it somewhere where you're not going to go spend. And I think if people just keep that simple principle, they're 10 times better off than we are now.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in, hey, if you got a couple bucks, apply it to a little bit to your mortgage, apply some money to your savings, make sure you're properly insured to protect your children.
Exactly.
I think that's really very
That's probably
important.
the number one is proper protection. And a lot of times people have a misconception when it comes to insurance. They feel that it's just to bury somebody, but it's not. There's a variety of different uses tax advantage uses too when it comes to insurance. So we expose people to a lot of those things too.
Yeah, to understand those advantages of the insurance plan, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And now, one thing I firmly believe is when we retire, you and I, but I think you're younger than myself, is we will be exposed to pretty high tax brackets because we can't continue to spend the money as a country and not pay it back eventually. And certainly you look at minimizing taxes in the future, don't you? You look at that aspect of it.
Yes, I'm all for paying my fair share, but I don't want to pay a dime more than I need to.
Yeah.
Right, and then a lot of it comes with the lack of knowledge. So our biggest thing is taking that educational approach to teaching people how to do better things with your money, because one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah.
Right, so I always feel that a lot of people say there's no money, nothing circulating. But it's not like it got up and just ran away or they lit a match to it. It just changed hands.
Right.
So you got to find those open doors.
Yep. Love it, love it. Itibari, I get that right again?
Yes.
Itibari, thank you very much. What a special name, Zulu. And how can those that are watching this on the internet or listening, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, I can give a contact number, a direct line. It's 661-974-2675. Again, it's 661-974-2675. And you can leave a message, or myself or secretary will pick up, and we'll return your call within 24 hours.
Thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate you being a part of the Chamber of Commerce.
Definitely.
And being a part of the solution in this valley.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Itibari Zulu with Transamerica Financial Advisors. And this has been a business spotlight on the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight on AM 1220 KHTS.